Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the Try Attack podcast with myself, Pancake Wizard 12, Slightly Salty, and W3S7. In this episode, we are specifically going to be deep diving Legends ZA and discussing what we think of the game, what we liked, what we didn't like, the kind of hate surrounding the game right now, and just everything in between. So, if you want to be a part of that discussion, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to more of our content in the future, as we have a bunch of stuff coming up, and this is only the beginning of Try Attack, or the relaunch of Try Attack, let's say. But before we jump into it, I want to let you know that most of this podcast is spoiler free, but there will become a point probably around the 40-minute mark where we start to discuss spoilers. There will be a little bit where I will say, please leave if you don't want to be spoiled on stuff, but I just want to let you know now that there is going to be a point in this episode where we will start to talk about spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, maybe this isn't the podcast for you right now. So without further ado, let's go on and talk about Legends ZA. All right, boys, welcome back to our second episode of the podcast. Crazy to say because episode 1 was in July. It's technically the third recorded, but second that'll be posted on the channel. How you boys doing?
We're doing good. I'm doing good, at least. I don't know about West. I'm doing good.
No, it's fine. You can answer for me. I'm doing good too.
Okay. Usually you get upset when I answer for you, so I thought I'd let you answer.
So we decided to sit down for like a little bit, as you probably saw in the intro, and just this is essentially going to be all about Legends ZA. A very the hate and the love for this game, it's like completely split. Like if you're a 50-50 person, like probably like the three of us are, like there are some great things about the game, there are some things that probably could have been better, but overall we all think the game's pretty fucking good and really fun. I don't even know what to say. Like the outcry of hate for this game, especially over the last like 48 hours. Like Thursday, Friday, it was like kind of there, but like Saturday, Sunday, man, it was just like boom. Like it hit the algorithm like crazy.
But the part
It's a bit silly.
I just think it's more people have gotten their hands on playing 5 hours of the game.
I think most of it is people not playing the game.
Honestly,
I think that too. I think it has heavily to do with people not playing the game, just seeing the negative reviews about the windows and stuff just being PNG files. And I gotta say, I think we're all on the same page. Pokemon Company is a big enough company that they didn't have to do that. They should know how to optimize their games better. We're all gonna sit here and agree and say that. But at the same time, are you literally gonna sit here and say this is a shit game just because the windows don't have depth?
No,
dude, that's how some people are though. Like, I mean, like, so I posted a video on my main channel on Pancake Wizard 12, like just like saying like that I thought that ZA was good, right? And these comments, man, half of them haven't even played the game. They're just like spouting the same shit that everyone like that wants to hate the game is saying. Like the graphics are bad, the side quests are boring, there's no life in the world, and like yeah, like there are like legitimate things you could critique about the game. Like, yes, maybe there's too many of the same side quests. Maybe the world does get a little bit repetitive, like 25 hours into the game because you're doing the same thing over and over again. But like, if you're only taking the first 5 hours, the literal tutorial section of the game, and you're basing your opinion on if the game is good or bad based on the first 5 hours, and then you're just complaining because it's popular, that dude, what are you doing with your life? Come on.
I would also argue the main tutorial of this game may go on for a while. The tutorial does go on for a while. But the thing is, you get free roam. I would say 45 minutes to an hour into the game.
About an hour.
You can pretty much go about an hour. You can pretty much go anywhere. Are you still being taught stuff? Yeah. But this game had so many things in it to teach us, which is so nice. And like everybody's like, I want to be able to battle like the anime. Pokemon gives it to us. Nah, it's not good. It's shit. Ruined one of the best things about Pokemon. We want to have open world Pokemon. Nah, it's shit. It's too bland. What do you expect? Go look at the world. It's pretty bland.
Dude, we're gonna get so much hate on this video. We're gonna get so
like, but the thing is, go look at a world map. How much of the map is actually filled in? Do I agree? Is Scarlet and Violet a little bland? I'm playing video games because I don't want to be in the real world.
Dude, I mean
I don't want to just be out exploring.
that's my like main complaint, right? Is like everyone's like, this is the worst Pokemon game that they've ever released. That's like the thing I'm seeing. Like everyone is saying that this is the worst, and I'm like, okay, like we literally just went through the release and the discourse surrounding Scarlet and Violet, and while I found some fun in Scarlet and Violet, that game was infinitely worse than this game. Maybe you can argue that the story of Scarlet and Violet is better in some cases, depending on if you've played X and Y before. Because I think that's a big, like, if you haven't played X and Y before, the story of this game is probably going to be lost on you. Like you kind of have to have a little bit of knowledge of like AZ and like the story of X and Y, at least a little bit. Like go watch your YouTube video that explains the story of X and Y and play the game. Like you don't need to play the game, but you should know the world a little bit.
Yeah,
That's
should.
why the Legends games aren't targeted. The Legends games, Pokemon's even said it, they're not targeted to new players. They're not targeted to kids. The Legends games are targeted to the guys that have been playing Pokemon since kids, since the 90s and early 2000s. That's what the Legends games are targeted towards. Go play Scarlet and Violet. Let's go if you want an easygoing game that's just Pokemon. Legends games are going to break down that barrier a little bit. If you don't think it's worth $70, guess what? Skip a Pokemon game.
Literally.
I don't know how much it is. I don't know how much it is for you guys in the US. For me, it's $89.99.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
I think for me it was $99.99.
60 for the Switch 1, 70 for the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 79 or 69?
69. $59.99 Switch 1, $69.99 for Switch 2. And I see everyone's like touting like, oh, like if you, it's over $100. So like, okay, it's over $100 if you want to buy the DLC on day one. It is now over $100. There isn't like if you want to just
How much was the DLC?
It's $30. So if they sold a bundle on day one that was over $100 with tax, but like you don't have to purchase that game, like that version of the game, to play the game. Hell, you can buy the Switch 1 version and just try it out, and it's the same price as Scarlet and Violet and still runs better on the Switch 1 than Scarlet and Violet do.
It absolutely does. It runs really good on the Switch 1 from what I played.
It runs just as well from what I've seen. All it is graphically less. Which also, I know we're only talking about ZA, but I just want to bring this up for the people that have known me for a while. It proves my point that Scarlet and Violet were made purely for Switch 2, and they were told to downgrade it. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But yeah, well, back to ZA.
Okay, but we'll go back to ZA. What I think they did with Scarlet and Violet is I think that was supposed to be the ZA game, and it was gonna release on Switch 1 and Switch 2, and they made both versions, and they said, "Oh fuck." No, that's what I think. I think well because like I think like because they were gonna do at least one cross Pokemon game. It was gonna happen eventually. So like and.
Not necessarily, because look at Switch and DS. There was no cross. I mean, I know those are two rapidly different, like vastly different consoles.
Well, they were making
Black and White came out after the 3DS came out, right? Like Black 2, White 2.
Yeah.
So like they were still making games for the previous version, and they done that for a while.
But like the way Scarlet and Violet was made, and based on the Terra leaks, we also kind of got a bit of confirmation that Sword and Shield was planned to release earlier than it was, which just makes me think that like Pokemon is the reason that we had that. Not Pokemon, Nintendo's the reason that we had that year gap of Pokemon content.
It is. Yeah, and you meant ZA, but yeah, it absolutely is because it was supposed to come out last year, right? That's what the leak said.
Legends?
Yeah.
No, Legends was still on track. It was Scarlet and Violet that was supposed to come out a year earlier. I'm talking about before that because, well, I mean, Legends Arceus, what? It didn't release the winter.
No,
before
Legends
Scarlet Violet came
ZA
out.
was supposed to come out last year, from what I seen. I didn't see anything.
Arceus came out what, the same year as Scarlet and Violet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the winter, because it was
VSP was November and then February for Arceus.
But like I guess like the fact that like people are like in this boat of like, oh my god, like ZA, if you can't look at ZA as a Pokemon fan, or even not as a Pokemon fan, and at least see that Game Freak like went out of their way and tried like a bunch of different things, like they refined the Legends Arceus formula to a point that like the people who didn't like Legends Arceus like this game. Like it has similar catching mechanics. Yeah, it's got a different world, obviously, and it's got a different way of traversing the world. I mean, we'll all say like we wish there was ways to like traverse the world that was faster and stuff, but to be honest, they probably limited how we traverse the world so that it feels bigger, like, you know, because the map isn't huge. It's not like you can't get around the map in like 5 minutes if you just run around a circle and just you could see everything if you wanted to in a very short amount of time. And if they add a ride Pokemon or a bike, you're going to get everywhere in a blink of a second. But if I did have that, I would never fast travel. Like if I had rollerblades, I would never fast travel. Like I would just ride around the game and just go places, and fast travel I wouldn't need. So I guess there's an argument to be made on both ways.
Which is a valid point. I would need less fast travel because in this game, a lot of the cafes, a lot of the buildings are fast travel locations.
There is a crazy amount of fast travel points.
I would have left all the wild areas, all the Pokemon centers, and all the important buildings as wild areas. By important, I'm talking Hotel Z, Kersaudo, and Prism Tower. Yes and no, because you got Pokemon centers all around it, so it didn't have to be. But I would still leave it just because. But I would have added rollerblades. And Pancake brought this up because I actually forgot rollerblades were in X and Y. Pancake brought this up while we were streaming, and I got so mad.
Dude, Salty was pissed.
This is 5 years later after X and Y, and we didn't get rollerblades back. And I was so mad. I think I went on a 5 to 10 minute rant about it because Pancake was then like, yeah, and we could have had grind rails all across. While I'm pissed off, by the way, Pancake goes, yeah, and we could have had grind rails all across the city. And I forget what I threw on the ground. I'm pretty sure I threw something on the ground, stood up, and I was like, are you shitting me? I am dealing with these planks on scaffolding when I could have been dealing with grind rails on scaffolding. Which, and it, like, seeing that, it was just a thing that added that I was just like, hey, now I'm a little upset, but like overall, not really upset because I like love the game. I love the game. And for those saying that the story sucks, I don't know what you want.
I don't know what you played because that's crazy.
Yeah.
What, I don't like the blocking the Kalos starters behind Mega Evolutions behind the ranked battles, and also like you're gonna have to wait 2 weeks if you want the Delphox side, or 2 more weeks if you want this Chestnut side type thing. If they were gonna do it, they should have had them all available.
Yeah, or like honestly, they should have locked like the Kanto starters, or like they should have locked like a cool starter like that, a cool Mega Evolution that people would want, but it's like one we've already seen, or like Garchompite and like Metagross site, like ones that like, you know, people know.
Or the freaking Hoenn starters.
I was about to say the Hoenn starters are not in the game at the moment. The Hoenn starters would have been perfect because they already have Megas. Blaziken was literally an early. It was a pre-order bonus for X and Y.
Yeah, could have been a cool callback.
Dude, they should have given that as the first mystery gift.
Bonus. It was a mystery. Yeah, this is the mystery gift.
They should have done Blaziken as the mystery gift for this game again. Yeah, because that would have been such a fun callback, or like done Swampert or something. Like done like a cool callback to X and Y, rather than like let's give us Ralts, like a Pokemon that's in the world and we can go and catch. Like that's awesome.
There's no way to get Gardevoir without that mystery gift too, by the way.
I didn't think so, which is crazy.
which
It'll probably
I
just
also-
be available in the DLC, I'd say.
Or it's gonna be a ranked
I don't think
one.
it's going to be DLC.
I think it's
yeah.
gonna be ranked after it gets like it's gonna go through and then it's gonna hit February. How do you feel about the DLC, by the way, saying that it's going to be like announced by Pokemon Day when it's coming out? Because like that's what it says on the website.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, that it's going to be announced when it will come out by Pokemon Day. So anytime between now and Pokemon Day.
Pokemon Day. It's gonna release on
Yeah,
Pokemon Day.
it's gonna come out in February and Pokemon Day, and I'm pissed about it. Like that's ridiculous.
Is that not
Really bad, I'm
what?
actually-
Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll look it up right now. Yeah, Sword and Shield did do it.
No.
They no, not Pokemon Day.
Armored Ink.
They released all the information. Then they released the Slowpoke, Larian Slowpoke on Pokemon Day. And then they did the Pokemon Presents, and then right after they were like, it's live.
Yes. But we knew the DLC was coming out that day. We just never got confirmation of when. And then they had the Pokemon Presents, and they were like, the DLC will be live and playable right after this presentation.
Yeah, it's okay.
But also, I think the cool callback to Gardevoirite though, and being the pre-order bonus is wasn't Gardevoirite the pre-order bonus for Oras?
No, it's Metagross. Shiny Metagross.
Building.
Yeah.
Shiny Metagross wasn't the pre-order bonus. Shiny Metagross was what you got at the end of the game, wasn't it?
No, it's a mystery gift.
It was a mystery gift. There's no pre-order bonus. It's just a mystery gift for buying the game.
It wasn't a pre-order bonus. It's a mystery gift for the first month. Same as Vault.
Sorry, early obtained the game because I think the Ralts it doesn't go much longer. I think it's only till the end of the month.
I thought it was till January. The Torchic lasted a long time. I remember.
Yeah, the Torchic lasted till the end of the year. But if I'm not mistaken, Gardevoirite I think is ending sooner than that.
No, I think it's February. I think it's Pokemon Day. Which is good. If it is in the DLC, that would make sense. Can you get the Galadite? Galadite?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just buy it.
Interesting. So on the
only ones are like Latios, the Hoenn starters, Rayquaza. I think that's the only megas, and then of course the primals.
Fun. So at the end of the Nintendo, like the actual like Mega Dimension page, it says plan for release by February 28th, 2026. So
it's gonna be on Pokemon Day.
Yeah, sure. They're probably gonna do some announcement about it coming out, or it's gonna just shadow drop. Like they're just gonna say, and at the end of this, you can buy and download and play Mega Dimension, which would be wild.
A shadow drop would be cool. I always like them.
Shadow drop would be cool.
It's like a shadow drop, right? But then like they said it's planned to release by Pokemon Day. So like anytime between now and Pokemon Day, we're gonna see it. So is the last day they have it planned to release really a shadow drop? Or is it just it's like turning in your homework like the final day, like right before it comes up? Like that's like all it is. Like if they wanted to shadow drop, they should shadow drop it like a week before Christmas. That would be a shadow drop. Like, but if it comes out on Pokemon Day, like, okay, cool.
I'm wondering if their original plan is Pokemon Day, but they also have a backup plan that if they see too many people dip off and just stop talking, like if the ranked isn't going well, people aren't talking about the game anymore. I feel like they may release it early. And also, like, I was upset about this too, and I see a lot of people still complaining about it. I was a little upset when they announced DLC on before they even released
day negative 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
And if they brought DLC out, like released it by Christmas, there'd be people hating on it because they're like, this could have been done on release.
They're gonna be mad no matter what.
Like this shouldn't have been DLC.
Actually, I'm saying I did hate it. I still have mixed opinions about it. While playing the post game, I'm not completed the post game, but I do feel post game's a little lacking. The post game for the Legends is very quick. The battles is just battles, and yes, they do go towards Mabel's research, but I feel like there could have been an alternate storyline.
Okay, can we be honest though? Like the post game content for Pokemon games, The only game that really sticks out to me in my head past like Generation 5 is like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon with like the Rainbow Rocket
Best
stuff.
post game ever.
Like once we hit the Switch era, like
It's gone.
post game has been non-existent, and like DLC has like tried to take DLC is essentially the old post game content, which I understand people are upset that we're losing post game content and we're gaining DLC that we have to buy. Like, yeah, that totally makes sense. Like, I'm upset about it too. I'm sure everyone who's a Pokemon fan is a little upset that they have to spend 30 to 60 to 50 whatever more dollars to get the DLC packages, so that post game is like interesting. But like, let's look at like even like Legends Arceus. The post game for Legends Arceus is super fun, and I don't even really like that game. Like the post game, like you roll credits, and then you have to go get all the slabs and then fight Volo, and like there's so many things, and like this game has interesting stuff. Like I haven't played the post game for this game either, so I don't know like how long it gets drawn out, but I don't know.
Okay, put it this way: one of the post game storylines technically never ends. The ZA the Infinite Royale, it's literally just
it is. Yeah, it is.
It does end.
Yeah, there is a final piece once you get to 15 reward battles.
Yes, but like you could keep doing the battles and you could keep just competing, right?
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
also like it's like the
but it doesn't show up as a mission anymore.
It's like the Ace tournament in Sword and Shield, which was available post game. The Ace not the Ace tournament, but there was a tournament that you could do in the post game.
I think it was the Star tournament. I think it was the Star tournament.
Well,
no, that was for the DLC.
Was after the DLC.
I think it's still just more challenge tournaments. I think it's just more challenge tournaments. I don't think it's like another name.
Yeah,
precisely. But it's like it's the same thing. It's the same thing as doing this, the Royale and this. I would say like the one thing. What did you get? West has done the post game more than all of us. All of us have beaten the game. West has done a bit more. West, do you see like reoccurring characters like that we met throughout this story come in battle?
This story, yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are all in there, and it's just random which one you get.
Okay.
Fun.
So that's good to see. I would have liked to see some post game mixing in a little bit of the old characters. Now I know a lot of people are going to tell me that they're waiting for DLC, but like, still, I would have liked to see them reoccur at least in the post game of this story.
Yeah, I would love to see like Sycamore, because he was such such a character in X and Y.
I heard that from the leaks, they actually intentionally didn't put returning characters in for a like a remake of X and Y or a second Legends game down the line.
They're gonna do a second Kalos Legends game.
They didn't say that, or they didn't. It just said in the like.
Yeah, I get it.
One or the other. Like they want to hold on to those characters so they're more special next time around. Which is lame as hell.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Yeah,
that is lame. I feel like they could have been included in this and still
like at least Clement, right?
Yeah, that I don't understand why they sent Clement away. Weird. That's like his tower. Like he literally like runs the tower, and like why wouldn't he be there to do anything with the story at all? It's like wild that he's just disappears.
You know what's one thing I was hoping they would do as just a little Easter egg, and they didn't do it when the tower got
spoiler. Big spoiler. Hold on.
Yeah.
Big spoilers.
I know. I'm gonna at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna say, and just so you know, if you watch past this point, anything can be spoiled to you because it's going to be a spoiler podcast because we're talking about the game. So it's okay.
Yeah,
this is okay.
That's why I'm asking. Do we want to do a spoiler podcast or no?
Yeah, I mean, if we can do, I mean, we're only about 20 minutes in probably to the podcast. So if we want to do a spoiler section like halfway through and start talking about spoilers, we can do it. We can do it then. If we want to keep the first like half an hour of it like spoiler free, and then we can do like 15-ish minutes of spoilers at the end and talk about the end of the game and all that stuff. We could probably do that.
Okay, then do you want to make a cut here from before I said the tower?
You didn't say anything.
No, you're fine. All you said was the tower. Okay, let's be honest.
You ain't said anything yet.
At the beginning of the game, literally the first like 2 minutes, the little cell flies down and the tower's all fucking pink. So somebody's got to know something's up with the tower.
Yeah, I know. If you've beat the game, like the tower, like everybody knows about the tower. The tower is obviously going to be important in this game if you're playing the game. I really wish we saw an Easter egg of Clement's gym with the tower.
Yeah.
Dude, if I'm gonna be
Something
honest,
small.
I would
Seeing like the logo of gyms from Kalos would have been nice.
I really wanted Bonnie to be in this, and if Clement wasn't gonna be in it, like, could we imagine like if instead of the like streamer, like it's all right, Salty, go ahead, go ahead.
Should have been one of your friends, one of your rivals.
I think it still could be relevant because last time we met Bonnie, she was a kid.
Mhm.
Canary's age never gets admitted. Bonnie could be Canary. Canary's name never gets confirmed.
This is true. This is true.
She's an electric type trainer.
They should have like actively been like, this is Bonnie, but I go by Canary, because then they could be like, my brother left. He's on a journey, and I'm here doing X, Y, and Z in his whatever, like literally whatever. Even
it does make sense because
if they did it at this point, it would be really lame.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. It would need to be in the story, or if Quasartico Inc. was like founded by Clement and he left to do research or something, and like anything that like would have like made sense for the story, you know, like. But it's like
I could see that. And that could be a reveal. That could be a reveal in DLC, and I would still be happy that he was just a founder away on vacation. Like, he's not president anymore, because all he liked to do was invent, but he's just not the founder.
Hey, you need to finish the post game.
He just ruined it. All right.
He didn't ruin it. He didn't tell us anything, but maybe old characters do get mentioned.
Now I'm just sad though, because Wes doesn't talk like that. I mean, if it's not sad.
Not necessarily.
It's not sad, but it's not what you want.
No. Okay. All right. I get it. All right. So before we get into like spoiler territory, I want to like talk about what's your guys' favorite thing about ZA? Like it could be something that changed, some like lore that it added, like non-spoiler, like mechanic wise, like what's your like new favorite thing that the game added?
I like Okay, I honestly like the mega change. The megas have a gauge now. I honestly like the mega gauge. I think that could be something I think there's a way to figure out how to implement that into the main Pokemon games. So the Pokemon's not just mega evolved purely and it comes out. I think there's a great mechanism there where you can have multiple megas, but they're all limited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like because like they've been like really like trying to figure out something for competitive that's gonna stick. Like megas were really broken because you essentially got a legendary on your team depending on the mega you picked. Z moves were really busted, but they were really limiting in terms of like you can only use them one time and it kind of gives you a knockout. Nobody liked Gigantamax and Dynamax. They were really good for doubles, really broken for singles. And then like Terrestrialization, I think, has like the best like
people love it.
Yeah, like I think it's like so easy to balance, you know, like especially like when you look at like draft league content and like saying what your like type is gonna be, and like people know what you're coming out with, and like yeah, it's the same way with megas, but like it's way less broken. So like I think if they can find a way to like take Gigantamax and Dynamax, but like make that into like the mega forms, I think that would be perfect. Like maybe not like 3 turns, maybe it's like 5 or 6 per mega, and then you have to wait a couple more turns before you're like you can mega. Like it's like you can mega when you want, you have 5 turns to mega, then you have to wait like 2, 3, 4, 5 turns, and then you can mega again. Or like they would have to really balance the shit out of it for turn based, but I don't think that's like impossible.
Yeah,
I don't either. I think there's a lot of opportunity. I think there's a lot of mechanics that could still be brought in, but I think that's also it's my big thing about Pokemon that I've been saying for a while is each new gen does not need a main mechanic, a new main mechanic. Why can't we go back to the times where the new mechanic was hidden abilities,
Yeah.
eggs?
Like,
Something permanent, yeah.
yeah, or like something like Black and White where they were just like, let's just like throw triple battles or like something stupid into this game that doesn't really mean anything, but is like
Yeah, it's like rotation battles, triple battles, and hidden abilities hit with
like or
and the gems, the
They
power gems. Yeah.
they gotta start not putting like they keep adding way too much new stuff in a Pokemon game that becomes irrelevant. Triple battles, they release them. They're still kind of they're not even in the games anymore. They
No,
stayed in a
because they
couple
couldn't
games.
handle them.
literally.
The freaking
They stayed in the games a
XY
couple
was
bit.
struggling on the 3DS with when you put out 6 Moltres on the field, the game went to 2 frames per second.
Yeah. So like triple battles eventually got rid of. Rotation battles, you don't see those anymore. We had I think Black and White also had an area to go and do inverse battles.
No, that was
Um
XY.
that was XY. Okay, sorry. I knew it came out in one of the games, I just wasn't sure which.
Yeah, and they
Inverse
also gave us
battles were
sky
pretty
battles. What
criminal.
the stupidest thing they ever done?
I
Sky battles.
Dude, Salty
Made every
just talked about
Pokemon
how much he
fly.
likes
Made
Sky
every
Battle.
Pokemon fly. It ruined their animations just for a stupid mechanic no one used.
I didn't hate sky battles. I found them cool. I hated accidentally walking into them.
Yeah, it's annoying.
I don't think they were actually needed, but I found it cool that there was a mission in this game that brought back sky battles, but differently.
Oh, I
Mm.
haven't
There
played
was a
that.
s- there was a side mission of a guy on a roof that said, "Let's have a sky battle for old time's sake." But the thing is, he only lets you use flying type Pokemon, which isn't how it was in X and Y.
Mm-mm.
Every Pokemon had
Any
in the
Pokemon that
back
was
end of the
off the
coding.
ground.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Any Pokemon that was off the ground was allowed to do a sky battle. In this, it wasn't like that. And that was a little disappointing that they did that, but I understand it was probably a lot easier to code in the game rather than giving every Pokemon a back end coding of it. Which I didn't hate.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they like actually overhauled the game. And that's like, okay, I'm gonna be honest. This game, I love. My favorite mechanic is that they gave Pokemon moves that are normally stupid and useless, like Fire Spin and like moves that like just were useless, like just like actual in-game like uses that work really really well. And like, yeah, they don't trap the opponent, but it's such a large circle that like if they don't move out of it, then they're just going to be taking residual damage for however many seconds. And it's just like, that's my favorite thing, is like how they reworked and rebalanced the battle system.
That
Just
took a lot of work.
yeah, it did. And the battle system is pretty damn fun.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, speaking of battle system, I am so tired of hearing people complain about how the battle system is just a button mash game. If you're gonna sit there and tell me that you're not playing a Pokemon game and just going button mashing A, you're speeding through all the text, you're speeding through every battle, you know you're a one-trick pony. Shut up. This game actually limited it to you because you actually had to click 4 different moves because they had a cooldown. And to
Literally.
say that there's no strategy, you're either just playing the game stupidly over level for some reason, or B, you're not even trying to act like it's strategy. You're walking up with your pseudos, any extremely powerful Pokemon in the game. Talking about it, Excadrill almost solos any Pokemon in the game.
Literally.
They did not put in a good Pokemon, like besides fighting types. I would say fighting types are the only thing that walled Excadrill a bit because he kind of just steamrolled through everything. And I honestly see that happening once Mega Excadrill can play in competitive battles. That's going to be amazing.
Literally.
But like
Literally.
this like, and you can't just say a game with this type of battle system is gonna be a button mash, because even with strategy, you have to time it. And you're gonna be timing your cooldown moves, and you just have to find a rhythm that you can get into, because you're gonna be button mashing all four buttons all at once. Whether you're
Mhm.
using protect, reflect, toxic spikes, the
Yeah.
strategy amongst button mashing, just look at fighting games.
And like,
You just have to actually use strategy. Like you can brute force, especially in the game. Like I don't know if you guys have played the ranked. It's a lot more like you need to pick your moves more.
yeah, I bet I can imagine.
strategically.
Well, that's what I was gonna say too. Like the game itself, like you can do whatever you want. I mean, look at a regular Pokemon game. You don't have to use anything but the most powerful attacking moves on your Pokemon. I like just to beat the game. Like the no Pokemon game is hard enough, except maybe BDSP in the Elite Four and the
The rematches.
yeah, like BDSP, the Elite Four, and the Champion Battle might be the only time in a mainline game where I'm like, okay, I should probably prep a little bit because they've got items and EVs and they're prepped. But like every other game, man, and this is no different. Like half the time I just threw on the four moves on my mons that would probably do the best against anything I would go up against, and I would just switch around, get stab, and just knock things out. Like, and that's it. Like in the game, I thought the game was fun even with doing all that.
Yeah, it was still really fun. I mean, the Mega Rogue battles, like, you can't just sit there and tell me you stood still and won.
Literally,
Exactly.
literally. I was literally.
Those were really fun.
Dude, this guy on the comment on my video, I wanted to talk about this. He said like literally said that he like never died once in the game, never lost, there's no thinking, and the game's worth $20. I'm like, you didn't lose one time. I was like, there's no way.
No, it's either he didn't play the game, or this guy is used to this type of game, like actual MMORPGs, and completely just used pure strategy and was already using strategy to go into it. And I'm like, if you've played this type of game before, like consistently, if that's all you play, then you're gonna win, like with raid bosses and stuff if you're used to them. But to a lot of the Pokemon fan base, the closest thing we had to these were the ones from Legends Arceus, which I'm not gonna lie, the mega raid bosses in this game blow the Arceus battles out of the water.
Yeah. Well, it's like because when you look at the
Arceus, you had to do both. In Arceus, you could just throw the balls. You had to restrict your Pokemon strategically. You had to dodge yourself. You had to do everything, and it was overwhelming a little bit at first. Like I was like, okay, dude, this is Pokemon.
I can't tell you how long I was just like, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Man, for the first day that me and Salty streamed this game together, he was constantly like, man, I'm hitting the D-pad again instead of
I kept using the D-pad, and I am so mad. I would say that is one of the other things that I was like annoyed with in this. Hitting the D-pad, completely my fault. But I also felt like we could have had different buttons to recall our Pokemon.
They should just let remapping. Nintendo games are notoriously bad at giving you like remapping abilities. Like if they just gave you the ability to say, okay, you have all these buttons and you can map your buttons for wherever you want to so that you can play and it be the most comfortable. Like that would be easy. But like they're just like, actually, you just have to get used to this really annoying game style. And then once you're used to it and you go back to another game, you're going to be fucked in that game. I'm just like, I think of like Breath of the Wild or like Tears of the Kingdom where like the run button is B and the jump button is X. And it's like impossible to do both at the same time unless you play like in Claw. Like it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you going to say, Wes?
It's just... strange because most of those JRPG games like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, the run button's like the L1 button or the like why didn't they do something like that?
Especially since the L1 and L or the L and R buttons in this game don't do anything. I
Mhm.
would have liked to use them to shuffle through my team,
Yeah.
and then the up and the down arrow is just to recall and send out.
Yeah. Well, or the fact that like the
Um,
lock on button just sometimes just like doesn't work. Like
Stops
Yeah,
locking on.
it's
Yeah.
weird.
it's like I don't understand. Like I don't know if it's a bug or what, but like you'll be like locked on, and then like it doesn't use dig. They don't recall their Pokemon. It'll just be like boop, and then I'm just like, oh, okay, sure. Or like I also hate. I think that the arrow left and right, if the bumpers were to go through your team, arrow left and right should have been to target. The fucking like stupid ass like to look around the field to target what you're trying to attack.
It's your analog stick.
Yeah, but like, so then you're like, okay, you're running around trying to battle, and then you move, and then it like fucking goes to a rock or something, and you like hit the rock instead of the person with like flamethrower, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well that was great. I'm glad I wasted my flamethrower cooldown on a rock and not like the Mega Mawile that's trying to Earth Power and Stone Edge me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the other thing was like if Pokemon keeps changing what the buttons are, I think they kind of need to stop doing that because like
Well, they
in
had to
Scarlet
with
and
this
Violet,
game, to be
you were-
fair.
Well, in this game, yeah, how the buttons work in this game, the only thing that kind of annoyed me in this game from Scarlet and Violet was in Scarlet and Violet you can you zoom in and out of your map with ZR and ZL.
Mm.
So all game I was doing that and I was just like, "Oh, come on." But like that's a minor thing just for me. I would say the biggest thing was just like the arrows, like stuff like that could have been a little more, I think, thought about.
Dude, somebody
Or
just
gave us
commented on this
multiple
video.
options to scroll through.
Dude, they just like somebody just commented on this video and they said that the DLC that they ripped half of the game out for the DLC. Like the shit that
No,
people
that was
are
on this note. This was
the shit that people are saying is just wild. Like they're just spilling
They're
this.
just saying
Yeah,
stuff.
they're just whatever
the-
they
the-
can to make people mad.
Yeah. The DLC is made by a
the
completely
main
different
story of this
team.
game.
And the DLC would change nothing about the game. Like literally nothing about this game will be changed. It would be like saying, "Oh, the Hoopa rings in ORAS. If Hoopa was more of a character in this game, it would change the story of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Because there's all these megas and stuff. If it just fleshed it out. Or like, oh, if they had the DLC for Sword and Shield, like when they first came out, it would change the story for Sword and Shield. Scarlet and Violet, I agree, it probably would have made the game better if it was out with the DLC.
No, trust me, it wouldn't have. Unless
I think
Kitakami would have been.
maybe just Kitakami, because
Yeah,
Kitakami
yeah.
is super short.
Yeah, me too.
Super short. Blueberry Academy felt more fleshed out. Like there was more to do. More.
I was gonna say the opposite. I would rather Blueberry Academy. Kitakami, I felt was boring.
Yeah, but like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But if it was
Kitakami is super short and there's nothing there. It's pretty.
Mm.
But in the laggiest damn place in the world on Switch 1.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It was unplayable at points.
Kitakami sucked, but the thing is, I wouldn't have minded Blueberry Academy to be in the game because that would have given me a feel for the Elite Four, which like I felt was kind of lackluster in Scarlet and Violet because
absolutely.
of the bareback office like building.
I hated
Didn't
that.
feel like
it sucked.
they didn't feel like an Elite Four. The trainers.
It could have been
there, like, the
virtual,
only one I
new
remember-
environments each time, you know?
They could have done anything with that game, but we could go on a rant with Scarlet and Violet probably for like years, like talk about how.
let's get back to the game.
Yeah. And we probably should. We probably can have a Scarlet and Violet talk session just like this and talk about everything we hated about the game. But like, okay, so I think right now we're at a pretty good point where we should transition into spoiler territory, because we probably all want to discuss like the story and how it connects to X and Y and how and just different things. So if you are watching this and you haven't finished the game yet and you're more interested in finishing the game than you are to listen to us talk about it, then leave right now. Bookmark it, come back later. If I remember, I'll try to add a chapter here so you can kind of know that there's spoilers from here on out. But if not, leave right now, leave right now, because we're about to start talking about it now.
My problem is I can't openly just talk about it because Vela's right in the next room playing the game.
Okay.
I'm gonna still be a little roundabout.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, you can still be vague while we bring up some points. Okay, I'm just gonna bring up the Easter egg idea I had before that I really wanted to see now that we're talking about spoilers.
Okay.
When the building was destroyed, I really wanted to see the logo for Clement's gym just as part of one of the like broken pieces there.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see it there on the ground, like a lightning bolt, something, maybe some of his gadgets and stuff like that. I think that could have been really cool for world building and also connecting it to the previous story, just to say like Clement's gym just didn't exist at all. Like it did exist, obviously, because there's just no mention of it in main story. And like also the fact that Clement never knew that AZ built this thing inside the building.
Okay, before you keep going, I've seen a few things online that are interesting to me, and I want to see how the DLC could flesh it out. A lot of people are starting to say that this could be an alternate dimension to the original X and Y dimension, where his gym was never in the tower, and that his gym was always out in the power plant. There's been some rising things that like say like this could be like another alternate timeline to X and Y. I feel like it's wild to say, but I think there could be something said about like, okay, if we're gonna jump into this mega thing, what if like the game we played way back when was like the X timeline and we're playing ZA on the Y timeline where slightly different events have happened and some characters don't exist and things were changed. I don't
they kind of combined X and Y in the story with the Team Flare stuff, because they looked at both Xerneas and Yveltal.
Yeah.
Whereas it was just one or the other.
In this storyline, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it that original Team Flare was for Xerneas? Because wasn't it Lysander wanted equal. He wanted to get rid of half, right?
They wanted both. Yeah, that's the weird thing, is it was the Y plot of kill half, but it was the X plot in Xerneas was the one they caught.
Well, it's like ZA's storyline. ZA's storyline was he used Xerneas to give Floette eternal life to revive it, but then use it as a weapon with Yveltal's power.
Well, no, he sacrificed thousands of Pokemon. He didn't use Xerneas or Yveltal. He sacrificed the life force of thousands of Pokemon. Is how he did it.
Oh, really? I took that to mean he used the Yveltal to kill them, and then Xerneas to put that within Yveltal. That might have not within Yveltal, within Floette. That might have been just me stretching. Another thing that I would like to say about the storyline, that like it's AZ's words directly, and it kind of makes it that Floette shouldn't be considered Floette anymore. Floette
it's almost not.
No, but AZ's Floette is still under Floette's Pokedex number. It should be its own Pokedex number. He essentially confirmed that it is not Floette anymore. It's a completely different It can't evolve into Florges. He says it himself in the game. Look at Paradox Pokemon. Paradox are super similar to their original things. But
it comes full circle.
Dude, they could have even I think they should have at this point, like, definitely.
So am I right? Am I right with AZ's Floette being a Paradox one?
Remember that was the whole thing. Like AZ, Area Zero.
I was saying that a lot longer than everybody else was.
I was like saying that first week of the game, man.
Was announced.
They were
Oh my
they were after it,
God.
man. And during the Terra League, you remember they actually talked about Kalos being the DLC for Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Or Scarlet and Violet. That was actually in there, and they scrapped it. That's crazy, man.
That would have been, honestly, that would have been incredible. Like that would have changed everything if that would have been the DLC. That would have been, especially
As long as it came out on the Switch too.
and then like leading up to like if they were still gonna do like this game, like how cool it would have been to try and tie it all
think that's why
together.
It got scrapped. It got scrapped because maybe this storyline was essentially supposed to be the DLC of Scarlet and Violet. Not the full storyline. They obviously fleshed it out, but maybe the idea of Zygarde was going to be a DLC for Sword
Yeah.
and Shield. But I feel like the main reason that they also scrapped it was they probably had such a hard time figuring out how they were going to put megas and terrestrialization in one game.
Well, did you think about just like how similar the storylines of like Sword and Shield and X and Y actually are? Like with like how they're both like fighting this like energy, like conservation kind of like storyline, and just like how the Darkest Day thing is like how the world will come to an end and like the energy crisis and all this stuff in Galar, and then like X and Y is like overconsumption and how can all of like these things, like I feel like it would have been the perfect, like those two games would be like perfect to tie together with like the legendaries.
I thought the
Yeah.
thing is that wasn't the lore indicating that Galar and Kalos were the two regions at war, or is it
Yeah.
Kalos and
Well, if you
Kanto?
think historically,
Mm-hmm.
that would be the case. 'Cause
Yeah, France and England.
England,
Yeah.
they were at each other's throats throughout history forever, right? So like
Mhm.
that's most likely who the weapon was fired at.
Yeah, and it would be like really interesting if they would tie it back to Galar, which is why I'm really interested in the leaks that Galar could be the next Legends game, because like if Gigantamax and Dynamax came from the firing of the weapon, and they tied that phenomenon.
They didn't.
No, I'm saying like in this game, because like they don't really
Okay.
say much of anything like regarding like
Yeah, well-
where it came from. Like
Yeah, they do. It's they literally
It came
say
from
it comes
the
from
Darkest Day.
Eternatus.
Well, yeah,
it
but
comes from Eternatus with Darkest Day.
yeah, but like what could the Darkest Day could be the a part of the war? I mean, there's nothing saying that
Yeah.
the Darkest Day, they haven't fleshed out what the Darkest Day is. They've just thrown around the Darkest Day over and over and over again. Like, could you imagine
They
it?
could make a really cool comparison to where the weapon is what gave Eternatus the power to create Dynamax and Gigantamax, especially of himself.
Mhm.
His Dynamax form is not usable by anyone. It's only when he's going with the Darkest Day that Gigantamax
Yeah, like
Eternatus comes out.
I imagine
Sorry, actually Titanimax.
dude, we could
Isn't that
see
what it was
like
called?
such a cool like callback to like the origin of Galar, and like the origin like in this Kalos kind of callback to like how it happened and like the origin, like, but I know it's never gonna happen. I know that the game's gonna come out and it's gonna be some like lore, and it's gonna like, I'm hoping that it's great, and I'm hoping that like all of our prayers are answered and it's like a great game that ties Kalos and Galar together. But like I don't know, I think I'm just like hoping for the best.
You're just
it's
hoping
insane
that
how many questions were left unanswered with like the war and stuff, and we just got more questions. But
Hot
man,
take.
I loved every minute of it.
Hot take. I do not think we are ever going to find out the lore of the war until they make a final Legends game. I think that'll be the final Legends game where it'll be the entire war, and it won't be based on one region. It'll be sections from multiple regions.
It would be so cool if you were two characters bouncing back on both sides of the war.
Yeah, like Last of
That
Us
would
2
be cool.
style,
That'd be
like Last of Us 2, like
Yeah.
you play a bit as like this character. I'm like, but I'm also thinking like when did like this black and white hero timeline, like with the dragon and stuff, take place? Like,
Yeah, man. There's so much they have out there that I want to see.
like, could this be like a Pokemon World War and not like a Pokemon like Two Regions War, where like there were like America sent this dude with these dragons?
Well, Lieutenant Surge was in the war, so
That's what I was about to bring up.
Yeah, with this
Lieutenant Surge
Pikachu
was in the
bazookas.
No, bro, that's criminal.
Some things that connect it is that we know Lieutenant Surge was in the war. We know Kanto's story takes place not long after the war, because that's why so many men are missing. Because there's dialogue in Kanto that confirms that.
But like, but the Kanto story can't take place 3,000 years before the X and Y story, can it?
No. I think canonically, they made a timeline at one point, and then it's like been through completely out the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 15 years or something like that, 12 years. Black 2, White 2 is supposed to come out, or supposed to be happening at the exact same time as X and Y is what the timeline was. But then after ORAS, they actually retconned that and said X, Y, ORAS are a completely separate universe.
Yeah, because of Mega Evolution.
Yeah, but they brought that. But they brought Mega Evolution back into the timeline because
Let's go.
Scarlet and Violet confirms that Megas are in the original timeline because Paradox Salamence.
Listen, Scarlet and Violet is in the Mega timeline. So is Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of the games post X and Y take place in the Mega timeline, and all the ones pre take place before Mega timeline.
But Let's Go brought a Kanto game into the Mega timeline. So
yeah,
like all this stuff is happening, it's just slightly different because they're just adding this big crazy thing happen. You know, Megas exist, basically. But basically every Pokemon game is a slightly alternate universe from what Oras said. You know, there's like, there could be a world just like this where we didn't have Mega Evolution. And then like with Usum, with the Rainbow Rocket stuff, Archie and Maxie there, but it's the Ruby and Sapphire Archie and Maxie.
Yeah.
Because if the Oras Archie and Maxie win, the world ends. That, like, so like also, there is no controlling those.
But it's also which one is in the main timeline, and are they a part of they're obviously a part of the Mega timeline, but which one is actually the main timeline? Is it Sun and Moon story or is it Usum story? We don't know that either.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all just, every game could just be its own pocket universe. Could be like, oh, the reason this is slightly different is this just didn't happen this way in this universe.
Yeah.
And they actually talked about every person's cartridge is its own universe in ORAS. Like, that's why one person experiences the game completely different from the other. And the link cable was like the
that makes
connection
sense.
between
cool.
worlds.
That's cool. So, okay, before we get on more and more tangents of like, let's...
I was about to say it too.
What did you guys...
I think we were all coming back to ZA.
Yeah, what did you guys think of that, like crazy ending? Like, the crazy, like, almost like I don't even want to kaiju fight.
It didn't even feel like a Pokemon game.
No,
so cool,
it felt like I was playing Final Fantasy 16 again, like with the quick time events and stuff. Like that's what it felt like to me, and it was fucking sick.
Yeah, it was sick. My one negative thing about it, I would say, is I feel like we didn't get to use Zygarde much, and I think that's one thing that's missing from Pokemon is they keep putting the Legends in post game at this point, and I would I would just like to have some sort of more involvement of the Legends within the story a bit more. I felt like Sword and Shield did a very poor job with the Legends, talking us up, like giving us an intro to them at the beginning of the game. Fantastic. I wish they came a couple times more and saved us a couple times more. Scarlet and Violet, I just felt like our legendary was just
that's fine.
Weird.
I don't know. I feel like Sword and Shield would have been great if they would have just like the Darkest Day timeline. If they would have just like done the Darkest Day stuff in the post game, like it would have been fine. Like they could have played the whole game, right? And like Leon could have been this like super unbeatable dude, right? And that would have been fine. And they could have done stuff like they could have had something was like brewing, right? And the dogs like showed up and like you caught the dog like right before the Elite Four and like you fought Leon and all this stuff happened. And then like it would have been like a Delta episode where like you go home and like everybody's there and like there's like rumblings of this thing. And then like the Dynamax Pokemon are like popping up around the region, like it does happen with Swordbort and Shield, whatever the fuck their name is. But instead of like going and like catching the dog, like, oh, then you show back up to Hammerlock, and now you do this big ass fight with Rose. He ends up being the villain of the story the whole time, who's like causing all these things, and like then you fight Eternatus in the post game. Like I feel like they just didn't do a good job at like sectioning off that game and making it like good. And I feel like ZA is like the same thing. Like they like show you like Zygarde like this whole time. They're like, you're gonna need Zygarde to beat this thing, you're gonna need Zygarde to save the city, and then like it shows up like right at the end and they're like, woo, Zygarde saved the city and now it's gone.
Towards the end, I actually started thinking that the pebble that Zygarde gave us wasn't gonna be Zygardeite, and it was gonna be Floetite.
That's what I thought too. I
thought Urbane was gonna fail and we were gonna have to grab it, or like he was gonna try to mega it, it wasn't gonna work, and we were gonna have to grab it and use it.
Yeah, I kind of like though that like that like the character, like I played as a guy, so I had Tawny. Like they were like the kind of like the opposite of like the player character. Like they're the same model as the other gender. So like if you pick like a male looking character, then it's like the female character, but it looks like the style of hair and stuff is for that character. But so like they're essentially like a mirror of you, and I think it's like really nice that like they get the Floette story and they get to do like the cool stuff with that, and then like we get to do like the stuff with Zygarde. Like I think that was such a better way of doing it than like in older games where they're like, oh yeah, like this is happening like over here, but you also get this thing and you get to do all this story, then you get to do all this story. Like it really tied like the characters like into the final like act of the game, which I thought was nice, especially like your rival. Like that, I like that a lot.
I was gonna say the rival felt just as much as a main character as I did in this game, and
I agree.
I freaking love that. And I felt like the closest we've had to that since this was probably Gary Oak showing up constantly in a main important parts of the story.
Would have been Serena from X and Y.
Yes, the X and Y is okay. I honestly like low key. I honestly, I know people hate on Hop, man, but like Hop's like he's really in the story like the whole time with you. Like he does play a key part like to beating Eternatus, and he has his own story arc with like trying to be a good battler and be like his brother, and then realizing that he doesn't really want to go down that path, and then shifting to being a professor. I think I would probably say Hop was the last one that like really made like was like, oh, this is an all right character, even though he kind of is a carbon copy of Hal.
Except he gets depressed. Yeah. Which I think really added a lot to his story. No, Hal just doesn't do anything. Oh, you said Hop.
Yeah.
Hop becomes a professor.
Yeah,
Pokemon players are not reading, bro. Dude, I swear to God.
Salty never played the post game of Sword and Shield, so that's probably why he doesn't know. Have you ever done the final fight with Hop?
What post game? I saw Swordbird and Shieldbird, and I was like, to this day, I cannot even tell you if I ever caught Zacian.
Probably not, because you did. Because you
did raids with me, and you had him. I'm pretty sure.
Nope, I didn't have Zacian in raids. I think the Zacian I had in the game, I hacked in.
Don't say that.
That's fucking crazy.
Don't say that on our podcast, man.
That's crazy, man.
Like there was.
Sorry, JV hacked it in for me. My bad.
Okay, that's fine. But like I mean, we did go a really long time with like Generation 3, like May, and like even like Gen 3 rival is pretty bad. Gen 4 Barry is like fine. He's like, he shows up more than May does, but like he doesn't really do much for the story. Gen 5, like Sharon and Bianca are annoying. Black 2 White 2 Hugh, I think is his name. He's not too bad. He's got a really good story, I think, with like the lab part and stuff. But like Gen 6 and Gen 7, no, it's not it. That's not it.
Yeah, but like I also like I didn't just mean they don't have stories. I mean, in this, our story felt just as much as Tawny or Urbane's story did. I feel
I felt like
they did
we
a
could have
really good
played
job.
their side and it still would have been a fulfilling story.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well, here's
literally
the thing too is like I think it's that way because this isn't a mainline game, and I think like a lot of people are like kind of framing this game. I mean, technically it's a main story game, but it's not like the choose your own adventure, go do gyms. This is like it's a different like framework for the game. Like someone that I watched the video that I was watching earlier today, they were like, this is like the perfect like noir Pokemon story. Like you're a detective and you're trying to figure out what's going on, and it's all set in a city, and like you're going around doing like little missions and like trying to figure stuff out. And like I love that framework for this because it's not like, oh, I wake up or I just moved here and I'm going out and doing this journey across the land to catch Pokemon and beat the gyms. It was like, oh, I showed up to this city to like maybe the character's moving there or just checking it out, and like now they're like becoming a part of this team, and like they want to like you decided to stay a little bit longer because you want to try to help them figure out what's wrong with the city. And like people like on the one side of the coin are like saying that the people who like this game are like only using headcanon to like it. Like, yeah, that's the point of a video game. Like you're like, do you not play a game and like get excited about like what your character is doing or get interested in the world? Like how, like, of course, like I'm going to like the game because of the way that I interpret it. Like that's exactly why you like and dislike games. It's how you interpret the story and the gameplay and everything that intertwines.
See, and I'm kind of glad that we got the detective version of a Legends game in this game, because if you asked me before this came out, what is the perfect region for detective Legends game? Unova. Unova, in my opinion, would have been best in Castalia, having some mafia or mob stuff going on in downtown New York would have made so much sense. But I don't want to see that for a Legends game from Unova, and I'm afraid of that. I always thought a Legends Unova game would have to have some sort of time travel in it for those reasons, because there's so many different storylines that could work for Unova, and one of them has to be the original dragon. And now that we have a detective game for Legends, being this game, which worked phenomenally, might I add, I can sit down and just have a gritty old time, like a gritty story in old times of Unova, seeing the lost world of Unova or something, and it's the ancient dragon. And that'll be
like,
fantastic.
How ancient do they say that the dragon is? Do they actually like say it was like so many thousands years ago?
Definitely did. They like at least leave clues.
I think it's like 5.
But I don't think it's thousands, man. I really don't.
Really?
It just says like backstory. Like I don't see anything like anything specific. I don't know.
Took place in a distant past, long before the events of Black and White.
So like, if we're being honest, I mean, if it's set on America, right? What I want to see, what I want to see is like, like Industrial Revolution America. Like, I don't want to see, because America was, unless it's like colonial America, like that would be interesting, but America hasn't been around. So like if they're really going, if this is like the American region, right? If Unova is the American region, then what I want to see is like the distant past, not being like super far back. Like 3,000 years is a long time. But like, even if it is 3,000 years, I still want to see like the Industrial Revolution Pokemon game. Like give me like because we got the Hisui, which is like way back in the past. I don't need to play that game again through Unova. I don't need to play that same game again. But they could give me like a middle of the road Unova game where it's like they have just maybe started to incorporate Pokemon into their daily life like more regularly. And instead of like the industrial revolution, maybe it's like the technology revolution or something. And there's so many things they could do, but I don't think they need to backpedal and make like Legends Arceus and make it the same exact game, but in Unova. I just don't think I would enjoy it that much.
Yeah.
I could see like doing away with balls altogether. Have you watched the Pokemon movie with like the Arceus, where they go back in time and the Pokemon have like a vest and stuff on, like almost like you would like a horse, like a saddle and different
Is this
stuff.
the Arceus Chronicles?
Yeah, the Jewel of Life movie.
No.
They've got whips and everything. Like it's like way back before they had any way of controlling Pokemon. They were just treated as animals. You know,
that could be interesting. That could be interesting. But then it's like, yeah, I feel like it's
catch them. Yeah.
I feel like it would be an interesting, like, if they get okay, I'll be honest, they get rid of Pokeballs in Pokemon, people are gonna rage more than they are right now. So I don't think that unless they did like a Pal World survival game and it's like that's like you start like that and then you eventually get Pokeballs, like yeah, I could see that totally. But
well, here's the thing: when did Hisui take place? Because Hisui created the first Pokemon.
It's like. It's not really that long ago, in all honesty.
Yeah, I think it's only a couple hundred years ago. And if I'm not mistaken, they created the original Pokeball, correct?
It was the Hokkaido period, right?
Okay. I was kind of looking up to see if I could figure out when the original dragon took place. It never states when the original dragon took place. However, it is they kind of confirmed that one of them built that one of the two brothers of the original dragon built an ancient city over 2,500 years ago, and the other built one 3,000 years ago. So it had to have taken place more than 3,000 years ago, the original dragon.
150 to 200.
Yeah, so it had been 3,000 years ago. So hear me out. What if Legends Kyurem is a Legends game, obviously, but rather than using Pokeballs, we see the return of Pokemon Ranger mechanics.
Oh no! Please, please!
I love Pokemon Ranger, bro.
Not on my Switch. Not on my Switch, please. No.
You get they give you a stylus, like the actual like thing.
Hold up. You don't need a stylus anymore. I think people are forgetting of.
No, that's what I'm saying. Use the Joy-Con.
Yeah, people forget that a very big key feature is that in Switch 2, you now have a mouse.
No, I'm just thinking like
you talk about the mouse.
You can use mouse features with the Switch 2 Joy-Cons. Mouse version.
I'm in.
Of Pokemon Ranger.
Fucking send it.
Coming out.
Okay.
Let's go, Pokemon. Let's go.
Jesus Christ. All right,
what face is so red, bro.
Okay. What I was gonna say was, it could be like an ancient civilization that has been like totaled. Like they could totally give us like an ancient civilization that in Unova that was totaled by this battle. Like they already had Pokeballs, they were already with Pokemon, and then they could do whatever they wanted with the game because it would get destroyed at the end of the game, and that would lead to Unova. Like that stuff, they could do whatever they want.
Give us almost like an Atlantis city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
high tech, super high tech, but in prehistoric times.
Mm-hmm.
And the ultimate dragon actually goes berserk and destroys everything, type thing.
Yeah.
The only issue with that would be that our game would just have to end.
Games have done that. The games have done that though. But I don't think that should be the end of the game.
Just send you back.
Yeah, I think the end of the game. I think the end of the post game Because if it's a Legends game, they usually have a post game past the credits. The end of the post game should be having to go and like calm down this like fused dragon or something, and it just wipes out. And then it just all you have to do is take you one mission before, like Fallout New Vegas or like any of like game that just pop you right before the last mission, so you can explore the world and do whatever you want. I mean, yeah, it would be annoying. I mean, I don't like games that do that, but they could do that. There's no reason they couldn't do that.
That would be fine. That would be all right, where they make it where every time you go and try to do the final mission, the mission ends with the dragon destroying everything and killing you. And then the screen goes black, your eyes open again, and it just goes, it must have been a dream.
They can do whatever they want, man. That would be cool. That would be cool. But wait, we should probably end this podcast because we've been talking for a little while. So thank you guys so much for watching or listening to this episode of the Tri-Tac podcast, the TriCast. I can't remember what we called this thing. It's been so long. But if you...
What's the TriCast?
I think so, yeah.
No, it's just Tri-Tac podcast. I don't remember ever shortening it.
If you guys enjoyed the video, if you're still here, hit the like button. Let us know down below if there's any topics you want us to cover. I'm not going to promise here that it's going to come back monthly because I have no idea what it's going to look like for us in the long run. But we promise to at least do these more often and try to get on some kind of a schedule. Do you guys have anything to say before we head off?
No.
Okay.
Legends EA is a good game.
Legends EA is a great game.
Legends EA
It's
is a
true
beautiful
Windows.
game. It's great. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.